Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're going to take an in-depth look at this 2025 Lexus NX 450h Plus. The reason it's a plus is because it's a plug-in hybrid, so you can drive it for several miles on electricity only. And I think this may be the smartest decision that you can make if you're thinking about getting a fully electric car. Don't do that. Get this one. I'll explain why. But first, I want to say a huge thank you to Flo Lexus of Greensboro in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this beautiful Lexus. I'll be sure to leave all of Flo Lexus of Greensboro's contact information, including their website, in the description box below. So as I mentioned in the intro, I think this is the smartest thing to do right now if you're considering an electric vehicle. The reason I think this is the smartest thing to do is because you can drive this thing 37 miles according to Lexus on all electricity. Most people in America drive about 30 miles a day on average, and that's according to a 2022 study by AAA. Therefore, if you drive 30 miles or less per day on average, then you can drive this thing essentially on electricity all the time. However, if you're on a longer trip, you have zero range anxiety, because then the gasoline engine's going to kick in and it's going to be a hybrid vehicle, so you never ever have to worry about stopping to charge. The only time you really have to charge is if you want to drive it on electricity. You never technically have to charge this thing. You can always drive it just like a hybrid. Additionally, while you're driving it, it's going to use regenerative braking to charge the batteries. So if you drive it long enough and you drive it gently enough, you'll be able to put a charge on your battery and you can drive it on electricity. It is the best of both worlds, literally. Now this 2025 Lexus NX 450h Plus Luxury is pretty much at the top of the food chain. The MSRP is $66,440. The color is eminent white pearl with palomino leather interior, and there's a wood trim in there called black open pore wood trim. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'll show you that in just a minute. The NX has changed dramatically since it first came out. I don't need to tell you that, but I really like the way this one looks. I like actually the way this looks better than the new RX. The reason is because it has that beautiful cool spindle grille still. Lexus is not shy about that at all, but you have really aggressive lines. You see how it's like angular? Look at that hood right there, and you can really see it because of the eminent white pearl color. Oh, it's just shining like a diamond, baby. And then that flat cutoff right there, and then the dramatic drop off right there. And then you've got beautiful lines right here down the side that kind of angle it in and sculpt out that area right there down the side of the doors. So it looks very angular, very aerodynamic, but also very muscular at the same time. And I just love the way that looks. Lexus shaped LED daytime running light there, and then you have LED fog light right there, and that is a functional air curtain. You have a camera right here directly under the Lexus emblem. You can hear the fan running. That's keeping your electric components cooled off, because right now this thing is running, but it's just on electricity. I love the wheels. You have a split spoke, 5-spoke kind of situation here. This is sitting on Bridgestones, and that tire size is 235/50V R20. The wheel size is a 20-inch wheel. That is an upgrade. Notice also that you have ventilated disc brakes up front. You also have ventilated disc brakes in the rear. A thing that you're going to notice about this too is that you have a door, a quote fuel door, on the right side. If you've ever driven Lexus before, you know the fuel door is always on the left side. This door is going to be for charging. So there's your electrical charging port. And then of course you have a fuel door, an actual fuel door for gasoline on the left side. The electric range, as I mentioned, is 37 miles. The total range with your engine and your electric range combined, 550 miles on a trip. So you drive it for 37 miles on electricity only, then you drive it for the remainder of your 550 miles gas engine on one trip. That's a lot of miles. It does have a continuous variable transmission. It has a 2,000 pound tow capacity with the right equipment on it. And then that is your actual gas door that I mentioned before. So gas on the left, electric on the right. How neat is that? So back here, I love the big sweeping Lexus LED bar that is above the big sweeping Lexus emblem. And then NX 450h Plus all-wheel drive. Of course, you have your park assist there that is integrated in the rear bumper. You have that in the front bumper as well, and that's what beeps when you get too close to something. And as long as you have the key fob on your person, all you do is approach the vehicle, reaching directly under the X, squeeze the little rubber button, and the door pops right up. Isn't that nice? Look at all this storage capacity. This one also has the optional all-weather mat from Lexus, which I highly recommend. You have three things right here that says top tethered. That is going to be anchors for your 3 child safety seats. Notice how wide it is right there on the very ends. And you can get a lot of grocery bags or a couple of golf bags, certainly luggage right there. You also have a nice handy dandy cover right here, and I recommend keeping this in place all the time so you can hide your items from peeping toms that you have in the back of the vehicle. And then right here you can just come up, touch that, and it will close the door nice and softly for you there. Isn't that a nice look? And then you have your wiper there, of course. But I just absolutely love all of the angles and how athletic this thing looks on the outside. Under the hood is going to be a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder engine with 181 horsepower. That's for the engine itself. It gets 38 miles per gallon in the city, 33 miles per gallon on the highway, and it has a fuel tank capacity of 14.5 gallons. Now, when you combine the electric components to it, it has a total system horsepower of 304 and will go 0 to 60 in 6 seconds flat. That's pretty impressive for a vehicle that is going to get 550 miles of range on a tank, essentially. That's pretty incredible. Notice that you have some big orange plugs there. That is the hybrid component or the electric component of the hybrid system. And there's really not much to look at in the engine compartment right here. You'll never be worried about popping the hood because it's so reliable. You're going to take it to Lexus and have it serviced anyways. So that's all for the engine. Stepping inside the extremely luxurious interior, check out the quilted-esque looking seats. It's super nice. The outer portion of these seats is leather, and I love the color. It just matches so well with the exterior. It just makes sense. And remember, I told you about that beautiful open pore black wood trim. That's it right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Notice you have stitching here along with some soft touch materials. Your lock and unlock right there. Everything just looks really, really classy. Little satin finish on the door handle right there. That's how you actually exit the vehicle. You have black on the back portion of the seat, and then that beautiful palomino color on the front edge of the seat. You have a couple of USB-C power points right there, and then vents right there for the comfort of your rear passengers. The rear glass is nice and tinted. You do have speakers that are integrated into the door. The seats are going to fold flat for more storage. It's just gorgeous all the way around. The maximum cargo capacity with all the seats up and in place is 22.7 cubic feet. The maximum cargo capacity, all the seats folded down flat, which is super easy to do, 46.9 cubic feet. The overall length is 183.5 inches. Overall width is 73.4 inches. Height is 66.1 inches. Wheelbase is 105.9 inches. Turning circle is 38 feet. Ground clearance is 8.1 inches, and the curb weight is 4,475 pounds. Take a look at this window sticker on the fuel economy right here. It's kind of an interesting dynamic because it's got a breakdown like I've never seen before, because this is a plus, you know, it's a plug-in hybrid. So since you can drive it for 37 miles there at the bottom of electricity only, it has to give you an electricity plus gasoline reading, I guess, designation, and then a gasoline only. So with electricity and gasoline, charge time is 4.5 hours at 240 volts. You get a combined city highway of 84 miles per gallon. And then you come over here and gasoline only is 36 miles per gallon, using 2.8 gallons per 100 miles. And all of that translates into you saving $3,250 in fuel costs over 5 years compared to the average new vehicle, with an annual estimated fuel cost of $1,250. That's a pretty neat way of breaking that down, and I guess that makes complete sense since you can drive this for 37 miles on electricity only. Here is the key, and you have lock on top, unlock under that, then you have hold and hold. The first hold is for the rear door, the second hold is for the panic alarm, and then you have a little Lexus right there. That's nice. And I like the fact that this key is not huge, it just fits right in the palm of your hand. So right here's your door handle, and you have black on the top, white in the middle, and then a little dimple right there. But notice that when you pull the door handle, it doesn't move. That's because there's a switch behind it, and when you push the switch in, as long as you have the key on your person, boop, the door opens, and it sounds like this. I don't know if you can hear that. Isn't that nice? So then when you're finished using the vehicle, all you do is exit, touch the dimple, the doors lock, the mirrors fold in, and that is it. I'm honestly a little bit surprised at just how luxurious this thing is. And maybe it has to do with the fact that it's the 450h Plus with the luxury package, top of the line, all of that. But this thing feels a whole lot like a luxury RX, just kind of in a mini size that you happen to be able to drive on electricity only, which is just fabulous. All the buttons are super well organized with that brushed aluminum look on the trim of the steering wheel, that nice screen that is designed to not show fingerprints. Everything is just really, really well placed. The cockpit is really suited to the driver. There's that wood grain again. Isn't that beautiful? That's just such a nice touch. It's something that's not really functional. It's not really going to add anything to the car, but it's just a nice touch. It's just one of those things that you glance at every once in a while and you think to yourself, man, this is such a nice vehicle. Now that we're in, let's take a look at the starting sequence. You can see the power button is here, foot on the brake, push the power button, and there you are. She starts right up. And of course, we're going to be operating on electricity right now, and the air is coming out cold, like instantly. Oh, that feels so good. You can see over here on the left side that you have a lot of charge on your electricity. And you can see down here on the right, it says EV miles distance to empty, EV 19, HV 198, because you have less than a half tank of gas. There's your beautiful heads-up display there. And that shows a lot of information that's super handy. On the left side of the steering wheel is going to be a multi-directional keypad, volume, up and down, and a pages icon. On the right side of the steering wheel, radar cruise control, lane keep, another multi-directional keypad, and another pages icon. Shift up, shift down with paddle shifters, signals and headlights, and windshield wipers. This is your turn signal stalk, and you can see on the left side it says auto right here. I would recommend leaving this in the auto position for your headlights so you can bring it down, and that is going to allow the headlights to cut on automatically at night. Then over here on the right side is going to be for your fog lights, and that they're off right now. And you can see a little light that's lit up right there. That means your automatic high beams are active, so that whenever you're driving at night and no one else is around, your high beams are automatically going to come on. Turn signal left and right, and that's it. Then over on the right side, you see mist off, auto, low, and high. I recommend leaving it in the auto position so that when it starts to rain, your windshield wipers will cut on automatically, and this will adjust the sensitivity. You can see here off, on, and intermittent. That is for your rear wiper. Pull toward you to wash off the windshield, push away from you to wash off the rear glass. Now, taking a look at the digital display that you're going to see while you're sitting in the driver's seat right in front of you. Over on the left side of the steering wheel, I showed you that there was a multi-directional keypad. You don't even really have to press down because it is touch sensitive. See that? I'm actually not even pushing in. I'm just simply touching on the up, down, left, and right arrows right there. Isn't that nice? So that you can see I can hit next and seek if I'm listening to, say, Spotify and I'm wanting to change the tracks on a song. Then here's audio. I can turn audio on and off right there. And now in order to turn audio and off and on right there, I do have to actually press the button physically in and feel the click. And then right here is volume up and down. You can see that. And then the bottom where I said that there were pages icons, it actually flips that multi-directional keypad, and then it becomes Bluetooth or voice commands or mode and audio. So that's for the left side. Then the right side of the multi-directional keypad, you can see that that button is actually, those are blanks, those are customizable, but then you can adjust the following distance of your radar cruise control. That's nice. And then you can press mode, and it's going to toggle between adaptive cruise mode or cruise control mode. Hitting the bottom pages icon, when you flip it, see it flips just like it did on the other side. Up is information, and that's all heads up display. The heads up display right now is actually moving up and down. I can see that in the glass, the windshield, and then I can hit display, and now I can adjust what is seen on the display. Navigation, G-force indicator, blank, driving support, fuel economy, average speed, energy monitor, and audio. Isn't that nice? Then I can press down, and that's heads up display position down, heads up display position up. And then I flip it again, and then there's mode and back to cruise control. So that's going to be your multi-directional keypads that are on the face of the steering wheel, far left and far right. You can see where it says power and 0, that's your digital speedometer, and then where it says P, it is in park. Below that is a compass. You can change that if you want to. But you see over here on the left side of this ring, it says charge, eco, and power. And that that's your kilowatt meter for electricity. So whenever you're driving and it's on electricity only, you can see what's going on. And the reason it says charge is because whenever you're driving, when you take your foot off the brake or off the gas, or you apply your foot to the brake, it uses regenerative braking to charge the batteries, and that will light up. Whenever you're driving it in a more fuel efficient manner, eco will light up. When you're driving it in a less fuel efficient manner, when you're really pushing the gas, power will light up. Now this big beautiful screen right in the middle, I love how it's actually angled more toward the driver, and it just makes it feel kind of driver centric, like a cockpit. It's really, really nice. Over here on the left side, you can see navigation, music, Bluetooth, vehicle, and settings. And right now the audio is off. You can see that's highlighted. When you press this, it just has experience, drive, connect. We don't want to hit get started because that's not us. We're not purchasing the vehicle, so audio is here. There is your audio on button right there, and so When you hit that, you're going to see a few things pop up. This is going to be satellite radio right here, and you do have also FM, AM, Sirius XM, and then Bluetooth as your sources, so you can stream whatever you want to. This, by the way, does have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and other things like that. So you can even pause the song right there. Really, really nice. But you can also go to tune. You can manually tune FM, AM, and XM stations. So you can just press the numbers there. There's AM, and then you can hit all stations. Going back to that, you can go FM, and this is cool because you can go all stations: adult pop, classical, classic hits, country, jazz, and it's just got all kinds of genres of music all right there. And this is fantastic if you're in an area that you're not familiar. And look how responsive the screen is. It's just so nice. It's just like a cell phone. But if you're in an area, traveling out of town in an area that you're not familiar, and you want to listen to any of these genres of music, you can just go here and let's say jazz and blues, and then boom, it's going to list those stations so that you can go and listen to those stations. Isn't that nice? Then you have Bluetooth. We do not have a device to connect, but it says connect a device. That is super, super easy. You can then connect your device and listen to all of your things that you want to via Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And then driving assist. So this is vehicle driving assist, and that's going to show all of your safety driving assist features, lane departure, from lane departure all the way to pre-collision system and everything in between. You can also see that these are highlighted in blue. That means they are active. So safe exit assist, it is now black because it's deactivated. Safe exit assist is now active. And so this is how you can just simply go to one screen, turn them off and on. Really, really nice setup. I really like that. Then you can go to settings down here at the bottom, the little wheel, and you can see all kinds of neat things. This is the screen that I recommend really spending some time in when you first get one of these, because this is how you're going to customize the vehicle to exactly the way you want it to work. And so Bluetooth and devices, that's going to be for your iPhone or your Android. General is where you can go and do things like screen beep. So I actually prefer to deactivate the screen beep because now it's quiet. Isn't that nice? And then screen sensitivity, I put that on 3, and it says that it has a higher value will allow smoother operation with gloves, but I also find that it allows smoother operation without gloves as well. Keyboard, language, and units. Back to settings, and then you can go to notifications, Wi-Fi display, sound and media. This is where you're going to change your levels. You're going to tune your sound, your treble, your mid-range, and your bass is all right there. You can turn those up and down if you wish. So you can actually change the area in the vehicle where the sound is going to focus. Media, display cover art. That's going to display your album art. Let's say you're listening to Spotify, and it's going to show the album art of the artist that you're listening to. That is going to be under settings right there. Then this whole big section down here is essentially going to be climate, and you can see right here is a ring, and you can turn that ring and you can see the temperature right there is all adjusted. Isn't that nice? So cool. But of course you have dual zone climate control, so you can actually sync those if you wish. When you press auto is activated right now. It's going to automatically maintain the cabin temperature at the number that is in the center display right here on the circular readout. This is how you can manually adjust the fan speed. That's recirculate, and that is AC off and on. This is how you control your seats, whether it's ventilated or heated. So I can press that once and it will activate the highest level of the heated seat, and then that turns the heated seat off. Then that is the highest level of the ventilated seat. Two-way heated steering wheel or auto, according to the temperature outside or how cold it is, and that's all really nice. Then I can press climate and it will allow the climate to be displayed, or I can press this multi-little button. You see that grid? And this is actually a customizable thing. So you can say frequently used, and it's right now it's safety features, comfort and convenience. Second page is heads up, then driving assist, and then driving assist is the third page as well. And again, you can organize those accordingly, and I got there by that grid right there. Isn't that nice? Then you have a button right here, and that is parking. So you can allow the vehicle to park itself, and that is automatic parking is right there, but it says seatbelt is unfastened, unavailable right now. We don't want to mess with that right now. And then I've got a view button right here, and I can press that, and that's going to show me from the inside looking out, scanning around, just to make sure I have nothing in my surroundings so I don't run over anything. And then I can do this, and it's from the outside looking in, essentially. So it's like a drone shot, and it combines all of the shots of the external cameras. It stitches all those together and says, yep, you're good to go. And that's looking at it from the outside from above. How neat is that? Then I press the little settings icon here, cornering view, view under vehicle, Lexus Park Assist 3D display, all of those are activated. So that I got there by pressing view right here. Hazards, and this is going to be to turn off and on the air that comes out of the vent. Center console is right here. There is a little bit of a storage right here that you have. This is the Qi wireless charging pad, so you can just put your phone right there and it will charge it. There is USB-C and another port right there for power. You can see a little button right here, and it says Eco, Normal, and Sport. That's selectable drive modes. That's how you want to drive the vehicle. If it's in eco mode, it's going to be a little bit more fuel efficient. It requires more pedal travel in order to achieve speed. If it's in sport mode, less pedal travel to achieve speed. And when I say pedal travel, it's pushing the gas pedal down. So more pedal travel means you got to push it more down more in eco, less in sport, and normal. When you press normal, it's like a combination of eco and sport. Right here is going to be your shifter. You can see it is in park. Put your foot on the brake and pull it left and down, and that is drive. Pull it left and up, and that is reverse. When you're in reverse, it shows the cameras front in the back. When you're in drive at low speeds, it shows the camera up front. Steering wheel, downshift on the left and upshift on the right. The feature that you see here is brake hold. This allows you to remain still at stoplights as long as this is active, your seatbelt's on and all that stuff. You pull up to a stoplight. If this is on, then you can take your foot off the brake at a stoplight, and it will just keep you stopped until the light turns green. You just press the gas and go. This is where you can go HV, EV, hold charge. Right there you can see that EV mode or HV mode on the dash right there. Automatic EV and HV. It calls it to just switch automatically between hybrid vehicle and electric vehicle. That's what I recommend there. And then this is traction control off. And then this is your parking brake, and you pull it up to activate it, you pull it down or push it down to deactivate it. So the drive of this thing, it feels fabulous. It's just whisper quiet, and I know I have a few miles to go on electricity only. And again, the average driver drives very few miles a day. And you know, if you're just doing everyday stuff, going around town, going to the office and back or whatever, then you should be totally fine to drive this thing most times in electricity. So for all intents and purposes, you've got an electric vehicle. It just has the extra bonus of no range anxiety. And that to me is the perfect combination of being able to have a pseudo kind of pretty much an electric vehicle, but never having to worry about being stuck because you have no way to charge your battery. It would be interesting to find out how long it's going to take to charge the battery just by driving it around, or how you can maintain the charge on the battery just by driving it around. Because if you drive it easily and you're not gunning it a lot, then you should be able to use regenerative braking in your favor and to just slowly add charge to it. So, you know, I don't know, that's a whole new level of hypermiling and nerd talk. So we're gonna get out here, and keep in mind again, it has 304 total system horsepower. And right now I'm gassing it, and the engine did kick in order, because total system horsepower, it doesn't have 304 horsepower on electricity only. It's got 304 horsepower combined with the engine and the electricity. So right now we're just cruising along, and we're totally good. This feels really cool, and it's just amazing to me to think that right now I am driving an NX, because I have the NX is just not this to me. It's just amazing what Lexus has done, and I love the focus that Lexus is putting into the NX, the small SUV, but it's really not small, because I have a lot of room. You can see the headroom that I have right now, plenty of headroom, and it just feels great. And I have the seat adjusted well, so that anybody behind me, they're going to be comfortable and totally at ease. Now, this thing is $66,000. That's, you know, so that's the price you pay for this thing. That's a nice RX, or an NX 450H Plus, and it's whisper quiet, just like a Lexus vehicle should be. It's fantastic, because I don't have to raise my voice. I love the heads-up display. It's nice and clear. All is well. It has the full-speed dynamic radar cruise control, so at any speed you can just set the cruise. It's going to maintain the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you at the set distance that you determine on the steering wheel here, and it will maintain that distance all the way down to 0. So if you stop at a stoplight, it will brake the vehicle for you, and then all you do to maintain that, when the light turns green, you just either tap the gas or hit the cruise control again, and then boom, you are ready to go. That is such a nice feature. I love the interior. As you can see, I think it's called Palomino. It's kind of orangey. It looks kind of orangey on the screen, or on the camera, but it doesn't really look that bad in orangey, baseball glove-ish in person. It's actually really nice. The ventilated seats feel superb right now. The driver's seat feels great from a comfort level. This would be really easy to go on a nice long trip in with no problem at all. I'm going around somebody else now, because I'm getting over, and it feels kind of weird, because when I push on the gas, I hear the engine, but the engine sound doesn't match the power that I feel, the torque that I feel, and that's because the electricity is pushing, and the engine doesn't have to really power itself that much, so it's just like, but you feel this. It's kind of an interesting dynamic there. Now I'm going to flip over into sport mode. We're in sport mode now, so it's got a cool little readout. The dash is now red. It's got a tachometer instead of a kilowatt meter. So we're going to see what that does. You know, it was feisty and peppy from the get-go, but in normal mode. But now we're in sport mode. So as I mentioned before, the delivery of the power is actually going to be different. It's just, ooh, I can feel that already. My goodness. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to feel good. It feels like I'm going in a huge circle, but I just went over a bridge, and now I'm exiting and going the other direction on the road. But this feels great. It doesn't feel like the steering is stiffening at all in sport mode. It feels like it's only an accelerator thing, but I can definitely tell the accelerator is much more sensitive now. Oh goodness, yes, absolutely. That is great. I would drive it in this mode a lot probably and get myself in trouble. Yeah, that feels really, really good. Yeah, this is a great vehicle. Everything, the digital readout, the dash, the digital portion that I see through the steering wheel is black, but it's nice and highlighted, so it's not hard to see. The navigation system is like a paper white. It's easy, it's subdued. It just feels good. Your arms land where they're supposed to. It just feels kind of natural. Like when you put your arms down, it feels nice and easy. When I let my foot off of the accelerator, I can feel that regenerative braking. You can feel, so I'm pushing a little bit right now, and I'm gonna let it completely off. Yeah, I can feel that regenerative braking and feel that kick in. And every time I do that and I feel that kind of braking, that just means I'm charging my battery. So that's super nice. I've been driving for a solid 8.5 minutes right now, and it says 15 miles of EV range, and I would say that I have driven more than 2 miles. Now it says 14. I would say that I've driven more than 3 miles, and but because of the regenerative braking and everything, it's kind of helping to maintain that charge. So this would be an interesting dynamic of driving, of trying to, you know, kind of keep the mileage of the EV mileage up on your EV range. Yeah, this thing is really a lot of fun. So I'm going to flip it to the left over to Eco. Actually, we're going to go normal. And it's nice to have it in that kilowatt meter format that I showed you before, where it says charge, eco, and power, so that you know exactly what's happening in real time while you're driving with the accelerator. And because I can see that when I let off, it goes from eco and it drops and it dips down into charging, and it feels weird to be charging the battery going 54 miles an hour. And that's where I think you could actually, like I was telling you before, if you drove it very economically, and really you would essentially only have to drive at the speed limit, I would say. You might want to drive in the right lane because you would annoy some people, but if you drive at the speed limit, I would imagine that you would be able to get a really, really good range out of this thing, because you would be, you know, periodically charging it and everything, and just getting along well. I really like the way this thing feels. This would be a fabulous daily, and it better be for $66,000. It should be. But I mean, think about it. You've got basically an electric vehicle, unless you drive a ton. You've got an electric vehicle. You've got a luxurious vehicle. It's a Lexus, so it's going to last until the cows come home. And I mean, you know, what more can you ask for? I just think it's the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, everybody, that's going to do it for our look at the 2025 Lexus NX 450h Plus Luxury. Told you it was a nice car. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And remember, the most important thing of all, have a wonderful day, everybody.